You might not realize it yet, but your biggest threat to a comfortable retirement isn't the stock market, inflation, or even taxes. It's the everyday expenses, those small, innocent purchases that quietly drain your savings while you're not looking. You see, retirement isn't usually destroyed by one big mistake. It's chipped away, month by month, by habits that feel harmless. A subscription here, a coffee there, a few extra meals out. And before you know it, the money you thought would last 25 years is suddenly struggling to make it past 15. That's why in this video, we're diving into 10 everyday expenses that silently kill retirement savings, the ones almost nobody talks about, but everyone falls for. Because if you can plug these leaks early, you'll instantly find yourself with more financial breathing room without even earning a single dollar more. Let's start with the first one, and I promise this one hits close to home. Number 1, subscription creep. It starts small. You sign up for Netflix, $15 a month. Then you add Amazon Prime for $14. Then Disney Plus, Spotify, Hulu, maybe a gym membership, a cloud backup service, a digital magazine, or an app you forgot about months ago. Individually, none of them feel like a big deal, but together, they're death by 1,000 cuts. Research shows the average retiree spends between $200 to $350 every month on subscriptions, many of which they barely use. That's up to $4,000 a year gone. Now imagine that over a decade. That's $40,000 that could have been invested, compounded, and used for travel, healthcare, or gifts to your grandkids.
Here's the problem. These companies know you'll forget. They design renewals to be automatic, cancellations to be annoying, and pricing to feel too small to worry about. But it all adds up. So, what should you do? Smart retirees audit their accounts every 3 months. They go line by line through their bank or credit card statements, highlight anything recurring, and ask one simple question. Do I still need this? Most of the time, the answer is no. Cancel what doesn't bring real value, because every unnecessary subscription you drop is money that stays in your pocket and keeps your future intact. Number 2, eating out too often. Here's another silent killer, restaurant spending. When you're retired, eating out feels like a treat, a way to stay social, avoid cooking, and enjoy your freedom. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes routine instead of occasional, it's a financial leak that never stops dripping. Let's do the math. A $15 lunch 3 times a week and a $25 dinner once or twice quickly becomes over $500 a month in dining. That's $6,000 a year. Money that could have covered a family trip or boosted your emergency savings. But it's not just about the money, it's the psychology. When food becomes convenience instead of choice, it trains you to spend emotionally, not intentionally. You're not paying for food anymore. You're paying for comfort, boredom, or habit. The happiest retirees build new routines around mindful spending. They cook more at home, try new recipes, and even host dinner nights with friends. It's cheaper, healthier, and often more fulfilling. Remember, you're not depriving yourself by eating in. You're buying freedom with every home-cooked meal.
Number 3, keeping outdated insurance policies. This one surprises a lot of retirees because it's easy to forget. Most people buy their life, car, or home insurance in their 40s or 50s and never think about it again. But your life changes, your needs, your assets, your risks, and if your insurance doesn't change with it, you're probably overpaying. Think about it. Do you still need that large life insurance policy now that your mortgage is paid off and your kids are financially independent? Are you still paying high car insurance rates even though you drive less or only during the day? Has your homeowner's insurance been adjusted for current property values, or are you still paying premiums from 10 years ago? Every outdated policy is like a slow leak in your wallet. By reviewing your coverage once a year, comparing rates, and dropping what you no longer need, you could save hundreds, even thousands every single year. Insurance should protect your wealth, not quietly drain it. These three expenses, subscriptions, dining out, and outdated policies, may sound small on their own, but together they can quietly erase decades of savings growth. And the worst part? Most people don't notice until it's too late. But the retirees who do take control, they're the ones who sleep better at night, travel more, and never worry about running out of money. Because financial freedom isn't built on luck, it's built on awareness.
Number 4, overpaying for convenience. This one might sting a bit because it feels like a reward for all those years of hard work. You spent decades hustling, saving, raising kids, and now you just want things to be easy. So you start paying for convenience. Grocery delivery, lawn care, house cleaning, handyman services, takeout, all those little helps add up fast. The truth is, convenience is one of the biggest silent killers of retirement savings. It's sneaky because when you were working full-time, paying for convenience made sense. You didn't have the time. But in retirement, time is the one thing you finally do have. Here's what I mean. If you spend $50 a week on delivery fees, $120 a month on cleaning, and another $100 here and there for tasks you could easily do yourself, that's nearly $3,000 a year gone. And that doesn't even include tips or service markups. Now, I'm not saying you should never pay for convenience. Some services are absolutely worth it, especially if they improve your health, save stress, or help you stay independent. But here's the rules smart retirees follow. Pay for convenience intentionally, not automatically. Ask yourself, is this making my life better or just easier? Sometimes the best part of retirement isn't outsourcing. It's relearning how to enjoy simple things again. Number 5, holding on to unused stuff. This one doesn't seem like an expense at first glance, but trust me, it's draining your wallet more than you think. We're talking about storage units, overstuffed garages, closets filled with things you haven't touched in years. According to recent data, more than 12% of retirees rent storage units, spending around $150 a month. That's $1,800 a year just to hold things they probably will never use again.
But it's not just the money. It's what clutter costs you mentally. Every unused item is something that ties you to the past instead of freeing you for the future. And those someday items, the treadmill you'll start using next month, the old furniture you plan to fix up, are quietly taking up space and emotional energy. Here's the truth. Downsizing isn't losing, it's releasing. When you sell or donate what you don't need, you're not just clearing your house, you're clearing your finances too. Many retirees who declutter end up finding thousands of dollars in value they didn't realize they had, from old collectibles, tools, or electronics. And even more importantly, they save on insurance, utilities, and maintenance by living simpler. If you want a lighter, more stress-free retirement, start with your stuff, because clutter costs more than just money. Number 6, ignoring home maintenance. Now this one might be the most expensive of them all. A small roof leak that goes unfixed for a couple of months can turn into a $10,000 repair. A clogged gutter can cause water damage. A neglected HVAC system can lead to thousands in replacements. Many retirees make the mistake of trying to save money by postponing maintenance. But all that does is turn small costs into huge emergencies. You wouldn't skip an oil change on your car for 3 years, right? Your house needs the same care. Here's a simple truth. Prevention is always cheaper than repair. Smart retirees schedule maintenance like clockwork. Gutters cleaned twice a year, air filters replaced quarterly, roofs inspected every few years, and appliances serviced regularly. It's not exciting, but it's profitable in the long run. And don't forget, every dollar you spend keeping your home in good shape protects one of your largest investments. It keeps your home's value up, prevents sudden expenses, and gives you peace of mind.
It's not glamorous, but it's powerful because a well-maintained home doesn't just save you money, it gives you freedom from worry. So, let's recap where we are so far. You've seen how overpaying for convenience, keeping unused stuff, and ignoring maintenance can quietly destroy your savings from the inside out. But the good news, each of these problems is fixable. You just have to notice them and act before they grow. And that's what separates the retirees who survive retirement from those who enjoy it. Because wealth in retirement isn't about what you earn, it's about what you keep. Expense number 7, expensive hobbies. Now, let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with having fun. Retirement should be the time you finally enjoy your passions. But here's the catch. Too many retirees underestimate how much their hobbies actually cost. Maybe it's golf. Maybe it's boating. Maybe it's traveling first class every other month. It starts off feeling like a reward for decades of hard work, but slowly turns into a constant drain on your savings. What happens next? You start dipping into your investments, not just the interest, but the principal. That's when things go downhill fast. The trick here isn't to give up what you love, it's to budget your fun. Many retirees I've talked to learned that when they switched from expensive hobbies to simpler ones like hiking, volunteering, or even joining local community clubs, they felt more fulfilled, not less. Because it's not about the price of the hobby, it's about the satisfaction it gives you.
Expense number 8, frequent dining out. It sounds harmless. After all, what's a nice dinner a few times a week? But when you do the math, those little dinners start eating away at your retirement faster than you think. For example, eating out twice a week at $40 a meal adds up to over $4,000 a year. And many retirees don't stop at twice a week. Combine that with coffee stops, quick lunches, or takeout, and suddenly you've spent thousands on food convenience alone. Here's the twist. Many retirees actually rediscovered cooking during retirement, and they found it both fun and rewarding. Some even started hosting potluck dinners with friends, turning what used to be a financial drain into a social highlight. The point isn't to stop eating out forever. It's to be aware of how often you're doing it and how it impacts your long-term financial freedom. A few mindful choices can save you enough each year to cover a small vacation, a family trip, or even an emergency expense that would have otherwise caught you off guard. And finally, expense number 9, helping adult children too much. This is a big one. It's emotional, it's complicated, and it's one of the hardest financial habits to talk about. Many retirees want to help their kids, whether that's with rent, student loans, or even down payments on homes. But here's what many later realize. By helping too much, they actually put their own financial stability at risk. You can't pour from an empty cup. Your retirement savings were meant to support you, not become a permanent safety net for grown adults. Several retirees I've spoken to said this was their single biggest regret. They thought they were being generous, but ended up struggling themselves later. The truth is, financial independence isn't just for you, it's also a lesson for your children. Setting healthy boundaries doesn't make you a bad parent, it teaches responsibility. And remember, if your finances collapse, you can't help anyone. The best gift you can give your children is your financial security, because when you're stable, you're not a burden, you're an example.
Expense number 10, neglecting home maintenance. This one doesn't sound dramatic at first, but it's one of the most expensive mistakes retirees make. When you ignore small repairs, a tiny roof leak, an old water heater, cracks in the driveway, you're not saving money, you're setting yourself up for a much bigger bill later. I've heard countless retirees say, "I wish I fixed it sooner," because what could have cost $200 today easily becomes $2,000 next year. And the scary part? These issues often pile up all at once.
Suddenly, you're dipping into your savings or using credit to handle what's become a full-blown renovation. The secret? Preventative care. The same way you schedule regular doctor checkups, your home needs them too. A simple annual inspection, some DIY upkeep, or even learning a few basic repair skills can save you thousands every single year. One retiree told me he started doing small fixes himself, replacing filters, checking gutters, and sealing cracks. And over time, he realized he'd saved enough to cover an entire family vacation. And here's the truth. Retirement isn't just about living longer, it's about living smarter. Every dollar you protect today is a day of peace tomorrow. You don't need to live like you're broke, you just need to live with intention.
Now let's wrap this up. When retirees look back, they rarely regret the money they didn't spend. They regret the money they wasted without realizing it. Cable packages, new cars, hobbies, constant dining out, endless small expenses that slowly drained what they worked their whole lives to build. The happiest retirees I've ever spoken to all share one common mindset: awareness. They know exactly where their money goes, and they make sure every dollar works for them, not against them. Because here's the thing, retirement isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. But financial freedom doesn't come from how much you have, it comes from how wisely you use it. You've already done the hard part. Decades of saving, working, and planning. Now your only job is to protect it. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Watch the small leaks. The big ones get all the attention, but it's the small, invisible ones that sink the ship. If you found this video helpful, consider sharing it with someone who's preparing for retirement or already in it, because awareness is the first step to change. And if you'd like to keep learning practical ways to protect your savings, maximize your retirement income, and live a stress-free life after work, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, your retirement should reward you, not worry you. Spend wisely, live fully, and I'll see you in the next one.